The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks, go.
Brock Boeser back on the ice with his teammates. Boom, bam. That is good news. And the rest of the show will be produced by you and you and you and you. What does that mean? Find out now on another episode of Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People. We back doing this, and that's giving you your Locked On Canucks. Yes, your Canucks every day. Only here, sort of. More on that later, okay? For real. Or on that other show, because you know the deal, okay? Everyone's a Canucks podcaster in the city of Vancouver. Hey, this place, man, straight up, the strongest fan base in the world of sports, okay? Do the math, do the science. We are loyal. Anyways, today's episode is brought to you also by Gametime, okay? That's the place, right? That gets you your last-minute tickets at the lowest price, guaranteed. Use the Gametime app, download it, create an account, and use Locked On NHL to get $20 off your first purchase. On today's episode, okay? Again, I said you're going to produce the show. Just get the live chat going, okay? If you're listening on the podcast side, boom, bam, once in a while, join us on YouTube, have some fun. Ask me some questions about the Canucks, about Vancouver, and lead the charge, man. And it's ironic that we're doing this now, okay? Once in a while, we'll let you have the floor. But right now, again, going into the 6-game road trip, it feels as if there's a lot of question marks around this team. So I'm sure you have questions. Before we do that, though, let's chime in on the news, right? Brock Boeser on the ice with his teammates in a non-contact jersey, okay? It's been 15 days. Yo, time moves fast. You better start journaling, okay? Or vlogging or something. Or stay in the moment, because it's already been 15 days since Tanner Jeannot booked himself a pay-per-view-like fight in the middle of January with some Canuck player, okay? 2 weeks ago, Brock Boeser takes that cheap shot, and the next thing you know, the Canucks, again, now we're a team full of question marks. We need Brock. He'll be back soon. Looking forward to how that all looks when, again, he's back. But in the time being, man, this team against Ottawa, tomorrow, a team that's lost 4 straight, right? The Senators, facing a team like the Canucks that are kind of struggling, right? A bit of an identity crisis right now. It doesn't feel like a must-win, but it's Saturday night, right? It's 4 o'clock. It's the East is going to be watching. Let's not embarrass ourselves when the rest of the hockey world is doing their job, right? And that's doing whatever it takes to watch Canucks games based on some of the star power and mainly Quinn Hughes. On that note, I think Quinn Hughes does something special tomorrow. And it's ironic because Pettersson, he tends to obliterate the Ottawa Senators, right? Absolute domination when he's in Ottawa against Ottawa. Boom, bam. He gets the job done. But Quinn Hughes tomorrow, I think, shows the hockey world what the Canucks are all about. Because, again, if that guy's missing and that guy's missing and that guy's missing, we still got Quinn Hughes. I'm going to show the hockey world that I'm that guy, and we're going to be fine. And it's that time to see the guts of the Canucks. And if good things happen, you best believe Quinn Hughes will have a lot to do with that, okay? Again, especially through this 6-game road trip. Anyways, do we have any questions here, okay? Can you guys produce the show? This is not much of a question, but it is a bit of a statement, okay? It comes from Jacob Cozy. Jacob saying that he's sorry for the negativity, okay? Just got a little worried. I guess he has some Edmonton Oilers family around him, and they're roasting him right now, creating pessimism in his mind. I think Jacob was one of those people, right? Saying we're toast after what? A 9-6-3 start. Unbelievable. But I get it, right? You get emotional, you get irrational. I've been there. If I didn't have the show, I'd be there right with you. Sometimes you need to vent to be yourself again, okay? That's why you got to talk about it. All in all, the Canucks 9-6-3. This is a start the Ottawa Senators would die for, okay? Just ask, I'm sorry, Ross and Brandon, okay? Locked On Senators. Hey, Beggsy was on that show a couple hours ago. I'll put the link in the bio after the episode. Go check it out, okay? Locked On Senators. All in all, the Senators fans would love the start that we're having based on our record. Speaking of which, we're fine. We've been through a lot of BS. A lot of people missing, including Elias Pettersson for half the season, and we're still 9-6-3. That's life. That's a beautiful thing. I'm saying it gets better. We just talked about Quinn Hughes. I just feel as if when the going gets tough, after what Quinn Hughes went through in the playoffs, I feel as if we're about to see a new level. We're about to see us go 4-2-0 on this road trip at least. Okay? The Canucks are going to prove that they're still really, really good in this thing called the regular season. Anyways, let's get to the next comment, okay? Not a lot of questions, but a lot of comments. And I guess it's the same thing. Look at this from Mother Knucker. The American man. From Connecticut, Alabama, Nebraska. He's saying that even though he's going to miss JT Miller, he thinks that this team misses Boeser more when these things happen, right? When both those guys are missing at the same time, he thinks that Brock Boeser is the biggest loss, or the bigger loss, I'm sorry. Which is crazy. Crazy to think about. And I'm not going to get dark here. I'm just going to say the obvious, okay? And I feel as if we say it week in and week out. If you watch the game the right way, you quickly realize that Brock Boeser is like a mistake-free, really good player, which makes him really, really valuable. You definitely miss this guy when he's not in the lineup. And it's cool to have the conversation regarding who would you miss more. I mean, it sucks, right? JT Miller, you're your number one center. The FU of the team. But man, number 6, not only the glue, but such an impactful player when he's on the ice. And remember in the middle of October, we had that crazy stat saying that Brock Boeser was like one of the best 5-on-5 players in the league based on how many goals the Canucks scored and how many goals they didn't allow, or they did allow, either or. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy, again, he helps produce the offense and he holds it down defensively. He's just an ultimate two-way player. And just go back to the playoffs, go back to the film. His compete level off the charts. And he's brought it this year, right? UFA Brock. Still hasn't been a negative. You know, through all the BS this season, when he's in the lineup, we're barely complaining about Brock Boeser. Next question. Vancouver's My Life is asking if trading for Lindholm last year was a bad move. Damn. I'll tell you what it was, okay? It was a move that rewarded the players. It rewarded the moment, right? And we got to remember that. That's what matters here, okay? That's what magic is all about. And you need a little bit of magic on top of having some star players, right? A lot of them. Again, the Canucks had, 6 All-Stars, including Lindholm, last year. All in all, though, you got to, again, reward your players. And, you know, at the time, it's got to be the right move, right? This core group went through a lot of BS. They were also firing on a lot of cylinders. You talk about all the star players up front, but again, Demko was playing that good as well. Like lethal. That's a goalie you win with. Go out and make the Lindholm trade. Go out and get out of the Kuzmenko contract as well. You do it. And don't get me wrong, I've had this question asked in my mind many times while I walk my dog and I'm looking for peace. I'm out here thinking about Lindholm and the assets we gave up for a couple of months. And let's be honest, like 10 good games or 13 good games. He was good in the playoffs. Like, he was really big. He was really annoying to play against. You could tell. Really physical as well. Made some key plays. The Canucks went all in last year. They paid the ultimate price ×2 for rentals. Kind of scaring me to play that game again this time around, right? As we're a year older in the moment. That all being said, let's tie it back to what I said from the jump, right? They made that Lindholm trade because this core deserved it. And, the Canucks are about to embark on a 6-game road trip. It's a big measuring stick type of part in the schedule. Don't be surprised if the Canucks go 5-1 or 4-1-1 or 4-2 at the minimum. And then afterwards, Alvin gets serious about making a trade. Now, it might not be fair for him to assess this team's record based on who's missing, right? How many games is Boeser going to play in the next 6? Miller's playing none. Is Demko going to come back? Like, is it really fair to use this as a measuring stick assignment? Some would think no, but I think real ones, like real G's, real champions, do believe that, because right now the Canucks are about to see how much guts, how much will this core that has a lot of new faces from last year, how much of that did they have? Because you need that in the playoffs. And also, what really do they have in Elias Pettersson, right? Like, let's see if he can put this team in his backpack and create wins. Let's see if that can happen through the next 6. And again, I'm challenging Quinn Hughes as well. I'm not doubting him. I'm just challenging him. Let's see them prove to the brass that they're worth taking risks with. That's what they got to do here. And what we got to do here is run a commercial. On the other side, we'll ask ourselves to answer more of your questions, okay? Keep sending them in. Go Canucks, go. Well, what are you guys expecting from Quinn Hughes on this road trip? Am I being an asshole for challenging him, demanding more? He's been the MVP of our team, potential Norris winner again. Like, dude, we need you. The team needs you to stay above water as we enter the second quarter of the year. Straight up. Again, keep feeding the comments. Hit the like button. And we'll keep on talking on the other side of this episode of Locked On Canucks. But first, let's shout out our friends, okay? It's a family show. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. What do I got to say? The price of green peppers. The price of deli meat. All right? It's hard out here. But you still got to live in the moment, right? You still want to go to the things you enjoy. Like Canucks games, like concerts, right? You got to live in the moment, Life is all about having fun and creating memories and being around the people, being around your neighbors. That's why you need Gametime. Go save some money. Go also save $20 off your next purchase using Locked On NHL. Terms do apply, but here's the real term. It's that place. Again, the best place to get your last-minute tickets guaranteed. Gametime is so good that I'm thinking about flying to Ottawa to watch the Senators and Gametime do their thing. What? I mean Senators and Canucks do their thing at the CTC in Ottawa. Gametime does their thing. They save me money. Boom, bam. Next thing you know, I'm catching a red eye. And right now, right, Gametime is having an exclusive zone deal. You want to talk about an event for the NHL Winter Classic? Maybe you want to do something different. Okay, you use the Gametime app, and you can do what? Get 10% off bleacher seating and 20 to 25% off home plate seating at Wrigley Field. Hey, you never know. Again, you may want to live a little. You also got the seat views, right? You know what you're seating. Sitting. And they also got that lowest price guarantee, okay? They ain't lying. Your purchase is also covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. That's that Gametime ticket coverage. Again, though, download the Gametime app if you want to do all this, create an account, and use Locked On NHL to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Create an account and redeem code Locked On NHL, okay? That's LOCKEDON NHL to get $20 $6 off. Download Gametime tonight. What time is it? It's game time, okay? It's also time to get back to Locked On Canucks. People, we back doing this. That's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. We got to do just that. And again, Trevor Beggs not with us tonight or today or whenever you're watching this. That being said, he did help the Locked On Podcast Network just a bit by hopping on Locked On Senators to talk about your team. Was he loyal to your team? Right? When he went on over to Locked On Senators to do a little pregame show with Ross and Brandon. Go check it out. Trevor, man, I hope you were loyal. We deserve it. Let's get to more questions, okay? Again, you guys are doing all the work. It's a last-minute episode, and this is why we're a family, okay? Because we help each other out. Next man up. If the Canucks are dealing with that, we're dealing with that too. Let's get to your questions. Jacob, who again is back on the wagon full time, the optimistic wagon. No more doubting. He said sorry. He apologized. And you know what? We're opening up the door. Just come back in. It's all good. Let's get back to being delusional about your favorite team. He's asking if he could set up the lines, what would you do? The answer to that is I don't know. I don't know, especially with the 4 group, because I kind of need them to lean into what they're doing with their 2 top lines out, right? It's last year's 3rd line, Garland, Joshua, Blueger, and then it's DeBrusk, Pettersson, and Sherwood at the top, right? And towards the bottom, you're balancing things out. Ratu, Suter, down the middle, boom, bam. I'm curious to see how that puzzle works. But there are 2 players that I think can again help us create this environment where again the next man up steps up and helps while we're missing 2 of our best forwards, and Miller and Boeser, and that's Höglander and Baines. And the ironic thing is that they play on the same line right now, right? If my math is correct, I did it in the last game. Ratu, Baines, and Höglander. And even if they're not, those 2 wingers, I think, can bring a little bit more. I think we saw signs of that, right? I think Baines looked a little bit faster against the Rangers. Again, the Rangers are probably the best team that he's played this season, as he's been bounced around between Abbotsford and Vancouver. And I think he showed up well. I think he showed up fast. Looked a little different. I'm curious on how we can add on to that against the much inferior Ottawa Senators team. I'm curious to see, again, him do his thing. And Höglander, I know Höglander struggled with the puck in the last game. And again, we want to look at all the negatives. And yeah, he's got to be a lot better. But at least the puck was following him a lot. He was in and around areas with the puck. I do want to see a little bit more bite. But again, the puck was following him. He's had a couple more chances. He's made a lot more mistakes with the puck as well, I know. But it's one step at a time, and I'm curious if Nils Höglander can be one of the next guys that stand up, that do their thing. And, we emphasized a lot that the next Superman has to step up, right? If the Canucks want to survive this, it's really on the shoulders of Hughes and Pettersson. That's the truth. But in the details, if they get a lot more from Baines and Höglander, again, the Canucks will be just fine. Let me know. Do you believe in Archie Baines this season? I know he's been somewhat polarizing too. You know what I'm saying? Next question. This one goes to some dude named Kyle Levette, and he's using the date December 20th. As his comment. And the Canucks don't play on the 20th. I believe they play actually on the 21st. But on the 20th, We're holding a toy drive, man. Surrey's most iconic toy drive. The good people from Ember Creek doing their thing. Kyle Levette, one of those good people, but one of the worst beer pong players in the world. One of the most overrated. The Daniel Jones of beer pong. And that is my partner. And I'm only using this time because we can't just talk about us, okay? Again, Christmas is coming up. Give back, okay? Your neighbors matter, if you can. And if you can't, just send love, send peace, and keep that positive energy in the air for us to share. Let's get to the next question. Mother Knucker. He's saying Arshdeep is a tweener. Bro, I'm from Surrey. Say it to my face next time, okay? You call my bro a tweener? You better watch your mouth, buddy. Jokes aside. Yeah, he is. He's the 13th forward. And that's like a well-deserved spot. He hasn't been that special this year. He's also gotten a lot of opportunity. I think he knows that. I also think that Archie Baines is somebody that's proven the whole hockey world wrong time in and time out. He's also gotten better time in and time out. And like I said, go watch the film. His last game, he played fast. Straight up, he played fast. I'm looking at the little wins, okay? It's the truth. And that's what you got to do. Next question. Jacob saying, I think Baines is fine on the fourth line. I have to give more time to my boy from Surrey, okay? Shout out to RC Baines. He's about to prove everyone wrong, okay? My name's Kyle Bound, and I approve of that message. Next question. Man, oh man. There was a really good question asking about our leader, okay? It's from Ingus. That's your real name, Ingus? Cool. I've never met an Ingus in my life. Angus. I met an Angus. I've met an Angus before. Anyways, who's the leader of the Canucks? It seems like Conor Garland is, to be honest. That's a great question, man. Is he like one of the glue guys, like right along with Boeser? You know, we talked a lot about Boeser being the leader of this team on the low, right? In the room. It just seems like the coolest guy in the room, the nicest guy in the room. And again, look at the film. One of the top 3, top 4 players on this team, night in and night out, right? He's uber consistent. But yeah, Garland, man, he creates moments. I think he keeps things loose, and I also think he's super, super talented. And I think the players appreciate that. You look at some of his stick handling, that oozes confidence. You want to have a guy like that on your team. Also, just as a hockey player playing in that game, just watching a guy do that, it just, again, creates imagination in your soul. You become a little bit better. This dude's also one of the smallest guys on the ice time in and time out. But again, the work he does along the boards is just so effective, so unique. Like low-key turning into a legend, man. I know that's crazy. That's crazy. But I believe this core is going to win a Stanley Cup. And you're telling me Conor Garland's not going to be a big part of that? Whoever's on this team are going to become legends, okay? He should keep his mustache the whole time, too. Again, small dudes matter. Small things matter. It's okay to be small. I've gone through in my life, 31 and a half years old. Boom, bam. Done it. And Conor Garland proving a point, man. Just pound for pound, one of the toughest guys on the Canucks. And turning into somewhat of a star here. And he's another reason, right? We've been ranting about it on the Discord. I've been ranting about it here. The Canucks will be fine in the regular season. Dealing with some injuries to some talented players. If Conor Garland keeps playing like this, I didn't know we had this guy. Again, he finished the season last year really strong, played really well in the playoffs. But let's be honest, it's on another level this season. More effective. The puck is following him. He's just making more plays, and we got to have this guy's back. Look at what he did a couple days ago, man. Look at what he did a couple days ago, man. That's a loyal guy, man. Again, I was scared to tell my girl that I had to bail on a date. It was hard to do so. This is after she bought me Cactus Club too. You know what I was going through? I didn't want to do it, but I had to go to work. And you know who inspired me? Conor Garland. A member of your Vancouver Canucks. All that being said, let's get to more of your comments after the break. I got to shout out FanDuel, man. FanDuel, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Trevor Beggs. A different man because of FanDuel. Let's talk about it. on Locked On Canucks. And again, finish out this episode. One love to your neighbors, one love to the West Coast, the best coast. And again, one love to FanDuel. Today's episode brought to you by the good people, man, at FanDuel. They just always do their thing. Some of the best in the business. In fact, Trevor Beggs, are we allowed to say this? I don't know. But he's been using FanDuel as a way to bond with his daughter. His daughter making his picks. Is Trevor Beggs going to jail? I don't know. I don't read the terms and agreements. I hope not. All in all, though, FanDuel, man, it's your place where you want to place bets on the NFL action. Because this is America's biggest sports book, number one sports book. And right now, new customers can do what? Are you serious? Get $150 in bonus bets if you win on a $5 bet? Shout out to the new customers. That's crazy. The FanDuel Sportsbook app, it'll give you everything you need to place live bets on NFL, okay? Or the NFL. It's all in one place. Hey, we just talked about Daniel Jones, right? Poor guy. What? Poor guy. $96 million and he gets released? That's something else. The NHL got to do something like that, bro. Is there any dead money on the do they have cap hell? You know how the buyout thing happens in the NHL, a cap penalty? Do they have one of those things in the NFL? One of the worst rules in the game. Anyways, Daniel Jones gets bought out. Maybe you could have bet on that on FanDuel. And if you did and you got the hunch in the middle of the game or the middle of the week, you can check out the latest stats, check out the latest reads, the play-by-play, and do so much more when you head on over to FanDuel to place your bets, okay? Just visit FanDuel.com today, and you'll get, again, $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com, and never waste a hunch, and make every moment more with FanDuel, America's number one sports book. Shout out to FanDuel, man. Again, one love to Trevor and his family, man. Come on. People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. One love to you and 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 you. And thank you, man. Thank you again for just leading the charge here. That's what it's all about. It's Friday. It's been a long week. Trevor Beggs not here. Has to, do his thing with the bacon and bring that home. And since that's the case, next man up. And also, again, Trevor, he spent his time on Locked On today, helping out the boys at Locked On Senators, helping out at us. Just had a beautiful conversation about the hockey world, the Vancouver Canucks facing off against the Ottawa Senators tomorrow. Speaking of the Ottawa Senators, man, let's talk about this question. This comes from Kyle Levette again, okay, the Daniel Jones of Surrey. Bring Brandstrom up to play with Myers and put Soucy on the third pairing. Play Brandstrom more. And if there's a moment to do so, you got to do that tomorrow. In Ottawa, let this be his FU game. Let this be the game that his story propels from, right? Let this be a moment in his life. We talk about this all the time, right? Confidence makes you a better person. Confidence in every situation. Dude, in the room and on the ice, it gets you from going at 9 minutes a game to 18 minutes a game. Boom, bam, just like that. And I think that's what Kyle Levette is asking for. Play Brandstrom more. Again, confidence. Give this guy the opportunity to show Ottawa how much they effed up, right? I was the guy that you wanted for Mark Stone. I was here. And as Reddit told me, one of the most mismanaged players in hockey history, okay? Erik Brandstrom. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself. He has to be better. The challenge is always to be better, okay? He's proven a lot, but you got to prove some more. And there's an opportunity for tomorrow to instill a little bit more bravado in his game if he's able to play a lot, be impactful, And, just feel like that first round pick, right? Oh, you want Mark Stone? You're going to need to give me Eric Branson. Like, let's see that guy. A guy who needs a new contract, too. The Canucks need players, a lot of players, especially during a time like this where a lot of players are missing to step up, play above their value. And I want to see this. I want to see us win. I want us to see us hit a grand slam. I want us to see I want to see us lose Gustav Forsling. But it's okay because we got Eric Branstrom at the perfect time. Man, oh man. Next question. Look at this comment from Jacob Cozy, okay? And I think we got somebody else saying this as well regarding Branstrom playing with Quinn Hughes. This will make the third pair more balanced. I mean, wouldn't that be a shakeup, right? You play Branstrom more wherever you want in the lineup, and then you split up Hughes and Hronek. Like, is that enough change to make drastic difference? I think so, because I think it's that time, right? The time is now for us not to see Soucy and Myers ever again. I think they both need a change of pace, a change of scenery. I also wanted to see Soucy with somebody more reliable. I know it's on Soucy to be a lot better, and it's not Myers' fault for his game just being absolute bananas right now, and like rotten bananas, Like so bad. He's just been so Lucas Pisa-like. He's been so Tyler Myers-like. Like that's what Soucy's looking like right now. Oh no, they need to just be away from each other. Soucy needs to play with somebody more calm to make his game more calm. So yeah, moving Branstrom around, whether it be with Hughes or not, moving Hronek, it's got to happen now, doesn't it? Don't you want to see that Hronek and Hughes not play together right now? I think so. One more question. This comes from Ingus again, okay? Who is that guy that's on this team that puts himself all out? By it's Teddy Blueger for him. He always plays with the heart. Wow. That's a nice thing to say, man. Teddy, here's the thing, right? Teddy bear season. It's Christmas, man. Bring back the teddy bear. Let that be the most important Christmas gift your child gets. That or Tickle Me Elmo. Remember that thing? Again, I'm 31 and a half years old. That was big. Anyways, Teddy Blueger is tickling my soul. He really is. Because I think Ingus is onto something. I think there's a lot of players that are heart and soul material and, bring it every day. They just can't turn it off on this team. They've brought in those types of guys in this organization, which makes their floor what it is, right? Even when they're missing pieces or not playing at their best, they can still go 9-6-3 through 18 games with a goaltender that they found at the end of September. And then like a rookie goalie, Based on the compete and the heart and the commitment to being a Vancouver Canuck, they can survive a lot. And Teddy Blueger just brings it. When a lot of guys like Pettersson aren't bringing it early on in the season, we saw that many, many times in a row. There we saw Teddy Blueger being this team's second best center at times, right? With Heinen and Sherwood bringing the tenacity. I just feel as if he's such an important guy on this team and a dude that deserves more credit for sticking around at the price that he's sticking around for. I know consistently he doesn't have the flashpoints like Sherwood, and he may put up, less offense than Kiefer Sherwood, but there's an edge to your team when you have Teddy Blueger playing, and when there's chemistry brewing around him, he's also able to contribute offensively, and we're about to see another example of that possibly with wait, did I get it wrong? Did I say that Blueger, Joshua, and Garland are going to play for sure with each other? Didn't we see Suter down the middle with them? What's going on? Is it 420 somewhere? All in all, if Blueger can find chemistry with his line mates, I guess it's going to be Sasson and Heinen if things stay the same. My bad on that miscue. But once he does find that chemistry, he's able to complement. So, you know what, Rick Tocchet, if you're listening to this, I hope we see Blueger, Joshua, and Garland together tomorrow. We got it. And that's nothing against Suter. I think he honestly adds a lot to Garland's game as well. Garland has brought that up. But Let's see some of that chemistry, man. Let's ignite the best third line in the game again. Anyways, let me get out of here. Had to end it on that note. Thanks for doing that. I know, didn't have anything planned today. Had to do this at a random time. Couldn't really get together with Trevor and plan on an episode. But hey, we still got the job done, and that's thanks to you and you and you and you. That's also thanks to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving us the space to give you that West Coast bias. Just be here consistently, right? You got to be there for your neighbors all the time. That's how we're going to make this world a better place. There's a lot of truth in that. I don't know how much truth there was in the previous 34 minutes, but just hone in on what I just said. Also, one left to the Locked On Podcast Network. I'll put the link in the bio to Trevor, having a conversation with Ross and Brandon about that game tomorrow. The Senators, the Canucks. Two of Canada's teams that have never won a Stanley Cup. That's something else. That's a game tomorrow, man. Travis Green, too. A lot of Canucks connections. We're going to enjoy it, and we're going to talk about it after as well. One left to, who else? One left to, let's give a shout out to somebody else, man. One left to Cody Lawless. Who's Cody Lawless? Go Google him, okay? Have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good night. We don't know when you're watching this or listening to this, if you're not tuning in live. But hey, whenever you do, we truly do appreciate it. Peace.